Hey good people, this is Ahmed Minawa from MinawaTube, and today I'm coming to you with a very important topic. Today we're going to talk about if you overstay your visa in Thailand, what's going to happen to you? Are there penalties? Are you going to go to jail? What's exactly going to happen to you? And this is for really the genuine people who come to Thailand and maybe are taken away by the vibes and by the beautiful nature of Thailand, and they overstay their visa. Or maybe even some other people who think that maybe the penalty is a little bit something simple and it won't cause them any problem, or their relations with Thailand, their country and Thailand is very good, so they won't have any problem. So today I'm going to talk about all this, so let's start the video right now. So the first and the most important thing is a disclaimer. I am not condoning anyone or telling anyone that it's okay to overstay in Thailand. Definitely it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea to overstay in Thailand. It's not a good idea to overstay in any country in the world. You would always have a certain kind of penalty, a certain kind of punishment that is given to people who overstay their visas, whether it's a tourist visa or any other kind of visa. But I'm talking today exactly or in particular about the tourist visa. A lot of people can get to a visa on arrival when they're coming to Thailand, or they're exempted for visa for 30 days, or some of them come with their visas in their passport. So you need to know very well that coming to Thailand with a visa or even getting a 30-day in the airport doesn't mean that you can stay as long as you want, and you can exceed the time given to you in the visa. You're going to land yourself in a lot of trouble. So what happens exactly if you overstay your visa here in Thailand? So there's several scenarios depending on how long you overstay your visa and the circumstances that you had when you went to the immigration or to travel back to your country, or whether the police caught you, which is the worst case scenario. So first, let's start with, let's say you overstay your visa for some days, like let's say a day or two or something like that, and then you go to the airport. You're gonna pay 500 baht for each day that you spent extra. So for example, if you had 30 days and you went like 30 after 31 days or 32 days, 500 baht for each day. 500 baht, which is around $8. You're gonna pay $8 to $9 for each day that you stayed extra, which is a lot of money. I mean, like, no matter what, it's a lot of money. It's not in your budget. So that is the penalty if you stay just for just a little bit of days extra. Okay, maybe you didn't mean it, maybe you meant it, I don't know, but if that happens, that's a problem. Now the other case scenario, in case you stay 40 days or more, like, usually this happens to people who really lose the map, who really forgot totally about when they have to leave the country, or it's the first time for them to travel, or let's say they're really enjoying their time here in Thailand and they just forgot and they stayed an extra month or even 40 days. So if you stay 40 days or more, or a little bit more than 40 days, you would pay 20,000 baht as a whole fee. Okay, 20,000 baht, it's equivalent to around $650. That's what you're gonna pay as a whole fee for overstaying that much. That's a lot of time you're overstaying, so it's a bit hefty amount of money that you're gonna pay, and you have to pay that money. If you decide not to pay that money, you might get in trouble in the immigration here in Thailand. You might actually be put in the detention center, waiting to be deported or something like that, and that is not cool whatsoever. Detention center is kind of a nice name for it, or the deportation center, but it's not gonna be your best experience. In fact, it's gonna be your worst experience ever, whether in Thailand or anywhere in the world. So try your best to avoid that. Okay, whenever your visa is almost ending, or as soon as it ended, and let's say you missed some days, just go to the immigration directly, explain to them your situation, and you would see how to sort that out. Don't just ignore it and say, whatever, I already overstayed, so what is the worst that can happen? There's always worse, and let me tell you what is worse that can happen. So if you overstay in Thailand for 90 days, you would actually, and let's say after that 90 days you say, okay, now I'm going back to my country, I have a lot to do back home, I'm going back to my country, and that's it, and you go to the airport, you will actually be banned from entering Thailand for 1 year. So that is a really big deal. You would not be able to come back here. So for 1 year, if you overstay or stay here in Thailand for over a year, you would actually be banned from entering the country for 3 years. And if you overstay your visa here in Thailand for more than a year, like for 3 years or something, you'll be banned from entering the country for 5 years. That's a lot of time, especially if you would love to come back to this country or you have ties like friends, and maybe you met someone here in Thailand that you would want to see more often. It's not very easy for Thai people to travel out of the country, as it is for, let's say, Westerners or Americans coming to Thailand. So that's a big problem in a way. Um, and there's even worse than that. And what's worse than that? Worse than that is if you're caught by the police. If you overstay your visa but less than a year, maybe 90 days or something like that, but police catches you, immigration police catches you, you will be banned from entering the country for 5 years. That's a lot. So there's a big difference when you go by yourself and when they catch you. And that can happen, they can catch you. So you'll be banned for a very long time. If you overstay your visa for more than a year and you're busted, you'll be banned from entering Thailand for 10 years. For 10 years, yeah, for 10 years, yeah, you heard me exactly. 10 years you won't be able to enter Thailand. Like maybe 1 year and a half or something. 10 years you won't be able to enter Thailand. That's a lot of time. Now, let's say if you're busted by police, so that means most probably you're gonna be put in detention centers, or you're gonna be put in like deportation centers. Trust me, you don't want to try this. I know a lot of people who went through that and it wasn't good whatsoever. It's not good. You don't want to end up in that situation. So try your best to always, even if you overstayed your visa, try your best to try to fix the situation. Go to the immigration, see what they can do for you and stuff like that. I know go to the immigration in the way you're like giving up yourself, but at least it's better if you go by yourself than them catching you. And they can catch you, trust me. It's not that they don't know that they don't know about you. They can catch you. So yeah, that's in those cases. And some of you might say, okay, whatever, let them ban me, I'm gonna stay as much as I like in Thailand, let them ban me from entering for all those years. I'll go to, let's say, one of the neighboring beautiful countries, let's say Philippines, or go to Indonesia, and I'll have the same thing there. Okay, that might be the case, but don't forget that this is Southeast Asia. They share a lot with each other, especially when it comes to do with security and intelligence. So the thing is like, when you go to Bali, maybe you're visa exempt or something, maybe they will allow you into the country. It's not that they won't allow you into the country, but they will have you on the database that you overstayed in Thailand. So people will have their eyes on you. And if you overstay there, you might be caught faster than somebody who even maybe overstayed more than you but doesn't have anything on the database. So try your best not to have that stamp on your passport. Try your best not to get in the database and have that bad reputation, because that will cause you a lot of problems when traveling to other countries in this region. So what I can say in the end of this video is that it's not a good idea to overstay your visa in any country, no matter how poor that country is or how much they need tourists. They love tourists. Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, all these countries here, they love tourism. Tourism brings to them a lot of money. They want your money. That's something we all know. They want your money. They want you to visit their country, explore their country, but also at the same time, they don't want you to overstay your welcome. And the main reason for that is like the crime. So for example, Thailand, in the past, like, I don't know, 5 years, we have seen a little bit of okay, not a little bit, a lot of busts, yeah, for foreigners. There's a lot of foreigners who are caught, let's say, scamming other people, especially other foreigners. There was a lot of foreigners who were caught stealing money. There's a lot of foreigners who are stealing from ATMs. There's a lot of foreigners who are doing counterfeit, even trafficking. human trafficking. So yeah, they don't want those crimes, and they always assume that if you overstay your visa, that means you're up to no good, which is not the case. Most of the foreigners who overstay their visa, either it's because they want to work, or it is because let's say they fell in love here in Thailand and they want to stay with their partner, but they don't want to go through all that hassle, which in both cases, of course, it's a crime because you're breaking the law. But they will always assume the worst. Maybe you're a drug dealer or something like that. That's why they're really serious about these laws. So try your best not to overstay your visa. I hope this video was very useful to you. Thank you very much for watching. Like this video if it was useful to you. Subscribe to the channel for more videos, and comment down below in case I forgot to mention something. Thank you for watching.